Mr. Banker, Mr. Please. Ow! How much does money mean? Oh. Excuse me. Good afternoon. Greetings and salutations. Whatever time of day it is, don't worry about it. Just know it's in the afternoon here. My name's David Davis, and today I am making a performance to talk about poisonous plants inside of North Carolina and Georgia, because Waukesha doesn't want to get sick. Dig this. Let's start our presentation. Now first, let's talk about what exactly poison is. Poison is any product or substance that can harm someone if it is used in the wrong way by the wrong person or in the wrong amount. So this is talking about drugs, pills, cigarette smoke, but in this lesson we're talking about plants. Dig that. So let's talk about contact versus consumption. Contact or contact dermatitis is when you actually come in contact with the poisonous product. Some signs and symptoms of that contact with the poisonous products can include a rash or reddening skin at the site of contact, blisters, tender skin, and pain. Consumption or ingestion means you've simply eaten the product, and signs and symptoms of that ingestion can include drooling, dry mouth or skin around your mouth, wheezing, rapid shallow breathing, or no breathing at all. A rapid heart rate may be also present. Also, the patient can have nausea or vomiting. So poison plants are most notably found in the environment, and that's where most people's concerns are. But poison plants can also be found in your home. And what makes plants poisonous any old darn way? Well, plants actually create oils at the leaves of the plant and sometimes on their flowers. They also create pollen in order to make more plants or to spread their seeds. And unfortunately, some people are very allergic to those oils and our pollen that it creates. The oil that some plants create can even be a self-defense for the plant to ward off enemies such as any type of animal or people, so you won't touch them at all. And in these people that their allergies have flared up, what makes them poisonous is actually their immune system. Yes, their own immune system creates the poison, which makes them sick, because the leukotrienes and the histamines try to ward off or fight the oil or the pollen. But unfortunately, they do such a good job that they go berserk and they create so many leukotrienes and histamines that their noses can get stuffy, their eyes can get puffy, their throats can get swollen, and if they become included and they can't breathe, the person can die. So let's talk about when to call 911. You should call 911 immediately if you feel like there is a problem. And what I mean by if you feel like it, if there's a problem, if your throat becomes scratchy and your eyes become puffy and it happens in a flash, 50 seconds, really, really quick, you should say, hey, there's a problem. Let's get 911 on the phone. Just makes sense. Just do it before it's too late, because if you can't breathe, you can't talk. If you can't talk, you can't walk. And unfortunately, if you can't get the phone and you can't even talk, if you get the phone, you're going to die. And why? Why does this happen? It's because your body is going into anaphylaxis or anaphylactic shock. And those hives and blisters and wheezing and that loss of breath can actually stop you from breathing, as I said before. And unfortunately, your body has become so dangerous to itself that it is actually killing itself. And here's some more signs and symptoms of anaphylaxis. You can actually feel like you have a lump in your throat. Again, a weak or rapid pulse. If you have nausea, vomiting, or diarrhea, and when we're talking about diarrhea, I mean uncontrollable diarrhea where you accidentally get chunks in your pants, or you feel like you're dizzy or you're going to faint because you've been in a place or you've touched a product or a plant that you haven't normally touched. Well, those are all signs and symptoms that something must be done immediately to help save your life. Enough talk. Let's see some of those darn poisonous plants. Well, here's the ones that that they rarely talk about. It's the indoor poisonous plants, or the ones that you might decorate your home with. Here's a beautiful amarella and another plant that people often decorate their home with that are poisonous. Check that out. Scary stuff. Look at this plant. Yes, that plant. It's often decorated by unknowing old ladies in their home, and unfortunately, they have children there. If they accidentally bite this plant, they're in trouble. Trust me. And this English ivory here, oh my God. Oh, hurt me. That's actually normally planted on the outside of people's homes as a decoration. Sure, these two plants have oils that most people aren't allergic to. However, if kids ingest these plants, they're in trouble. Here's some more beautiful house plants that people often decorate their offices with. Here's an example. Yes, this office has been unknowingly decorated with a poisonous indoor plant that can actually make someone, if ingested, sick. And look at this beautiful devil's ivory. This plant, although beautiful to look at and grows in a viney appearance, can actually be ingested and make small children very, very sick, which is why the name is, you guessed it, devil's ivory. Whoa. Ah! Let's talk about those outdoor poisonous plants. Oh my God. Let's talk about the one that's most common in North Carolina and Georgia. Poison oak and poison ivy. Leaves of three. What do? Let it be. Poison oak you can actually find hanging or strung around oak trees. That's why they actually put the oaky on the endy. All right, if you see this, any of these two plants growing around trees or growing in amongst the bush, leave it alone. These two plants are actually notorious for affecting most people that go into the forest because they don't know exactly what the poison ivy looks like. They touch the plant, and these plants have oils. And yes, you guessed it, oils attach themselves to your skin just like regular oil. And even if you wipe it on your clothing, it attaches itself to the clothing. Now, this might not seem particularly important to anyone, but no one thinks of this. So let me help you to think. Oil doesn't disintegrate. It doesn't evaporate. It actually sticks around. So if you don't get the oil off your skin or off your clothing, it'll stick around. And guess what? Every single time that someone touches your oily skin or that oily clothing, they can expose themselves to the poisons from the plant every single time, day after day after day. So they can become affected again and again and again. Here's some poison stuma and even tobacco. Yes, naturally growing tobacco has a pollen that most people are allergic to. Sure, it might start with a stuffy nose or a runny nose, but it could lead to later effects. Don't forget those pesky mushrooms, scary indeed. Even though we saw that nice worm crawling around it in Alice in Wonderland, it is not cool. And here we have a most popular plant, holly. Oh my goodness. Yes, holly has those beautiful red buds all around them or nodules that can fall off and people throw them at them and kids throw them at each other. But guess what? If they squeeze it and that juice comes out and they later on eat something with those juicy red pollinated hands, they can become sick. Here's some ginseng weed and even an arrowhead, which is most profoundly known for its beautiful arrow shape that grows up in its vines and protrudes from the leaf. Here's some boxwood plants and even a plant that is naturally, or not naturally, but is even shown in most reptile gardens. Yes, this beautiful yellow and green plant, which is in reptile gardens or aquariums, is even poisonous if ingested by humans. So let's get to the nitty gritty. Those plants didn't look like plants that I'd touch. Those plants didn't even look like plants that I would probably put in my mouth. But what plants look sexy enough to go and play with and for me to get sick off of? OMG. Look at these beautiful outdoor plants that are normally naturally growing in gardens all around North Carolina and even decorated on our beautiful highways because of their gorgeous blue exterior. These plants actually are very poisonous if ingested. They don't have the same type of oily substance on the outside of their leaves. However, their pollen pollinates the rest of the plants and even tries to spread themselves. So if you smell the pollen, that's why most people get sick. And here are even more beautiful plants that could actually make you sick, and they're all outside. And look at this beautiful veiled purple rose. Yes, this plant too is poisonous. So let's see some more plants, even this yellow bulb. So here's the most important question. Do I avoid life in order to avoid these plants? Heck no! Don't avoid life. Live it freely. But always, always, always wash your hands and arms with soap and cold water. Yes, that age-old adage of wash your hands before you eat is right. Because if you don't wash your hands and you touch any of these plants, it can actually lead to anaphylaxis, or it can make you sick and nauseated and you don't know what's going on, but you've been the culprit in your own life's destruction. Also, wash your freaking clothes, yahoo! Yes, if you wash your clothes, you can get rid of germs, oils, or pollen that are on your clothes that can later affect you. And no big deal. Wash your body with washcloths. Yes, those pesky washcloths that most people don't use can actually be most effective with getting oils off the topical layer of your skin, and also brush off any type of pollen that might be lingering itself around. So please take home notes. Wash up, wash your freaking hand, and don't eat plants you know nothing about, sucker. Here are my beautiful references to this beautiful lesson. And I hope you all enjoyed it. And I am going to partake of more of my coffee. More of my beautiful ambiance in this, my home of homes. And I hope you learned a great lesson. So this is David Davis signing off with a big thumbs up, Java, and make sure you don't eat poisonous plants. Also, G.I. Joe lesson of the day. If you find yourself with your finger up your nose, don't worry. Just move your hand. That's your lesson. Have a great day.